So, Josh, is this the test of the maturity of the team? How can we handle success? How can we move on? And what are you seeing in the preparation so far?
Yes, sir. It's very important that we stay consistent in our preparation and our process. I don't believe that we should decide now to get sidetracked and think about everything else except Arkansas. So,
how much of that comes from your head coach? Like, I think LSU tweeted out a clip of him talking to you guys about Alabama, and y'all are raising your level because you're playing Alabama, and that's a bunch of BS, that it needs to be consistent. Is that, this all comes from him?
Yes, Coach Kelly is very adamant about our process and staying very consistent on we don't rise to the occasion. We are profoundly based on our performance in practice, and if we practice hard and we stick to our process, we'll have success. And we've shown that.
You're leading your position group in rushing yards, and you've been able to string together some great performances. How has that felt, and how has this transition been to where you are now?
It's been an amazing transition looking back in the past. It's an amazing feeling to know that I can show my abilities on the field at the highest level, and I'm excited to continue to do so.
And on Saturday, you had over 100,000 rabid LSU fans packed in the Tiger Stadium. You went ahead, got into pay dirt. How did that feel to, look up and see everyone cheering for you?
It was amazing. I'm just glad that we gave the fans that opportunity to come onto the field for a second time in the season against Alabama. So I was happy for the fans to have that experience.
And describe what that environment was like for someone who wasn't there.
It was probably the most intense environment I've ever been in Tiger Stadium, and I've been here 4 years, including the 2019 year. Just winning in overtime and on just everything down on one play, and everybody just running on the field afterwards is just something different about it. So.
And, emotions rampant. I saw you after the game taking pictures with family and enjoying the moment. What did that mean to you to be able to have that?
It was an amazing feeling because, my dad's crying, my brother's hugging me and falling on the ground, and it's just an amazing feeling to make your family proud, So, yeah.
I guess when running backs think about scoring touchdowns and being on TV, but talk to me about your mentality as a blocker, and especially on that last touchdown run by Daniels and
yes,
whatnot.
Sir. I know that blocking isn't the best play or isn't the most popular play out there on ESPN or anything, but I take pride into it because in my career, blocking was the first way I could get onto the field, showing that I could block and showing that I could do the small detailed things. That was the only way that I could get on the field. So I really take that to heart, and I really show that I have effort and I want to be a different type of player.
And the fact that you're not a huge guy, too. Like, people have it in their head that a blocker's got to be this big. But, I mean, how does that play into it also? I mean, it's in your heart, it's in your hustle.
Just mentality, effort, technique. Coach Wilson has a bunch of techniques that he's taught us, and just past prior coaches that I've had that just taught us so much technique that I just learned a lot over the years.
And your teammate John Emery, it seemed like that might have been his biggest game as a Tiger, really.
He rose to the occasion for sure.
Yeah. What can you describe some of that electric stuff he brings, like those cutbacks and things?
John is an exciting player. John can score at any time on the field, and just that ability to do that is just what makes him so exciting. And we're always counting on him to make a play and always do something for us because he's so electrifying. So, yeah.
You're continuing the line of smaller running backs that have had success, and of course you've got bigger guys, and you got another one coming in the next recruiting class, and Clyde before you. But talk amongst yourselves with the running backs? Do you motivate them, and when they get on you about your size, and is it motivation for you, and how do they cheer you on?
I never looked at my size as being like an underdog or undersized. I never looked at it that way. I know a lot of people do, but I look at it as a positive, something that I could use to my advantage. I'm shorter to the ground. It's harder for guys to tackle me with my low center of gravity. So I just try to use what I have, what God gave me, to my advantage, and look at it as a positive.
Through the first couple of weeks, Ryan Kelly was moving some things around on that offensive line, but how do you feel like they're performing now, and how has that chemistry and trust been so far?
I think it's been going amazing. Our O-line with our two freshmen, they're getting better each and every day. The chemistry on the O-line, they do a handshake before every play. It's amazing. I've never seen anything like it, and I love the direction that it's going. So I'm excited to see how the rest of the season will play out with them.
And after a huge win, how do you do that 24-hour rule and kind of clear your head? I'm sure it's hard to kind of rid that throughout the weeks of practice.
It's a tough task whenever you beat a team like that and you see it all over the place. But it's all about the maturity and the discipline to push that aside and focus on the next game. Because if we don't win against Arkansas, then it doesn't matter. So we're on a mission and we have goals. So we're staying consistent and we're focused on Arkansas.
The SEC West and winning it and being in the SEC championship, I mean, it's kind of right there for you to take. Do you guys talk about it? Is it a motivational thing, or does that kind of maybe, I don't know, distract you from preparing for Arkansas if you get too caught up in it?
I would say that yes and no. Of course that we know and we talk about it and we know that we have an opportunity to make it there, but we also have our main focus on Arkansas and one day at a time, one practice at a time. So we're just sticking to that constant application of our process.
Major Burns hustling to tackle that guy. Is that kind of like the defensive equivalent to what you're kind of doing, the hustle and everything?
Exactly, yeah. That's all team mentality, never giving up on the play. Major, I don't even know how long he ran to catch that guy, but if he didn't give that effort, then that changes the whole dynamic of the game. He saved us 4 points. So just that effort alone shows the difference in our culture and our mentality of the team.